Hi, I'm Jeff Grant. I'm the store manager here at Food Ranch in Orangeville, Utah. You know, we grew up here, me and my brother and the other owner, Dane Baling, and we grew up here coming to Food Ranch, buying our food here. Most of my brothers and sisters worked here as well. I was one of the only ones that didn't. And it was always sad to drive by when it was closed. It was part of our growing up is what it was. So we decided that we want to be part of the community. We wanted to help, we wanted to give jobs, we wanted to give a place to shop. People to come hang out, have a community atmosphere as well. So that's part of the reason that we wanted to open this up and bring this store back to the community. We're excited to be back in action and providing a good store. We've remodeled a little bit, changed things up, made things look a little more modern, and we're excited to bring back our world famous donuts. We're under new ownership, local ownership, but we do still have the old donut recipes. We still have the bakers that are still here. They've worked here for over 20 years. So today we're going to show you a few things about our bakery, about what we do, how our donut process is, some of the things that we do. We do get here usually every morning around 4 a.m. and start the fryers, baking, frying the donuts, decorating everything as well. So we usually start the day before by proofing them, getting them ready, and then early the next morning we're here and we're rock and rolling. I've been here since about 4:40. I actually fried the donuts today myself as well, so you can probably see a little bit on my shirt if you can see there. So we're excited to be here, and hopefully you guys can come down and join us, whether it's now or in the future. We'd love to have you be a part of our store as well. So.
Okay, hi, my name is Tori. I'm going to show you how we do the famous donuts at Food Ranch. Earlier I went and I got the donuts out of the walk-in cooler. We do that like the night before we put them in there, and so that they'll thaw out and be ready for the morning. We screen them on these screens like this, and then we put them in the proofer. They stay in there anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Yeah, so let's get started. We've been proofing them for 30 minutes now. And normally it only takes about 15 because there's not enough humidity in here. I don't have to mop the floor. But you gotta make sure that the whole tray, everything is dry. If not, when you put it in the grease, it'll of course pop and crack all over. And they cook like 30 seconds on each side. They're just donut sticks, drumsticks, what everybody else does. They act like they're drumming or something. I count to about 15 and then I start flipping them. And then I'll leave them on their tops for probably about the full 30 seconds. And then I'll flip them back over the same way I started so that the tops and the bottoms are the same color. And yeah, I've been doing it long enough I don't have to really count unless I walk away from it. Then I start counting so I'll remember I'm frying donuts here. The degrees of these are 375. You can turn them up if you have like fritters or croissants. They do cook longer. You have to cook them longer on each side or turn it up. These ones are our mini donuts, though. Okay, now I'm just going to be glazing the donuts, grabbing the runaways. The glaze is made out of powdered sugar and water. That is it, and lemon flavoring. It's like mortar. A lot of people try to get like the full thing with glaze, and you really don't want to do that because it'll smash the donut. So you just want to let a little bit out at a time. Okay. And these are the original donuts. These ones have been proofing for 30 minutes. Normally it takes only about 15, but it depends on the weather. If it is really rainy outside, then your donuts will take less proofing time because they don't need as much humidity. The oil temperature is 375. 375. They cook for 45 seconds on each side. And I just kind of look at the color to tell me how long they need. As long as your top and your bottom have the same color and the donut's done, then that's pretty much all you look for. That's all you want. Pretty donuts. I used to have the whole table that I could put them on and let them cool, but now we just tray them up on the tray and stick them on the cooling rack and let them cool that way before you frost them, because you can't frost the hot donut. And then the glaze, you have to do them when they're warm. The cinnamon sugar, you have to put that on there when they're warm, but the rest of them, you have to let them cool off before you put anything on them. It'll just melt right back off. But they're temperamental. They decide what they want to do. And I just kind of watch them and try to help it along. Sometimes it's not fun. Then we're just going to be plain glazed. Yeah. And then these ones will be the frosted donuts.
I might cut it.
And while the donuts are cooling, we just kind of warm up the frosting. Kind of ironic, but I get the frosting warmed up, and then these are our toppings that go on them. There's some different ones. We got powdered sugar you can put on some, cinnamon sugar, Fruity Pebbles, Oreo, coconut, M&Ms, and then the Butterfinger. And that one actually is like the biggest seller. The glazed and the Butterfinger sell the best. The frosting has to at least be like, normally it's kept at 145 if you're going to keep it warm anyway. But you have to, or else it won't stick to the donut, which is weird because, I mean, the donut's hot, but it'll melt the frosting, but you get it warm, and then it will stick to the donut. To do, like, I don't know, it takes a process. It's a bigger process than what most people think. Because you have to warm this, cool these, you have to do all the other ones. I mean, there's a lot of different frostings and... Yeah, a little bit of a science to the donuts here. The actual biggest science to the donuts is that proofer, though. Because if you don't have your donuts proofed right, when you break it open, it's going to have a grease line on the inside of it. And then if you look at this one, there's no grease line. It's perfectly proofed and then fried perfectly. Top and bottom matches. And if you overproof them, they suck up the grease really, really bad. They're like a sponge. They're going to suck up all the grease. So you got to get them just right. They go out for one and up one. The humidity makes them go out. The dry makes them go up. So you have to, that's the science in the donuts. Okay, the frosting is about 145 degrees. And then this is just the topping of the Butterfinger. This is our famous Butterfinger frosting. And you just put it in the frosting. Dip it in this. I know I'm a little rough with them at times because I've done it for so long, but you just, I don't know, it's like a first thing to me. I just cannot, I don't know. Most people are messy and they have things everywhere. But I'm not a messy type person. I hate stickiness. You wouldn't think so because I'm a baker, but we go through so many of these Butterfinger donuts. There's people from England. There's been people from Australia. There's been, China. We've had all kinds of, from everywhere. They're worldwide known donuts. The first owner's sister is the one that came up with this flavor of a donut. We have Oreo, and it's basically the same. It just has vanilla frosting and then crushed up Oreos. This is just crushed up Butterfingers and our own Butterfinger frosting. Everybody tries to make it too, and they just cannot figure it out. And it's so simple. You'll have to come into Food Ranch to get the actual Butterfinger donut. And 'cause everybody can't make the Butterfinger. You can make chocolate, glaze, pretty much everything. But yeah, you'll have to come into Food Ranch, get your donuts. The climbers are the ones that have like really brought up the donuts again. Yeah, because if it wasn't for them some of this time, we wouldn't be having no customers. Yeah, I'll be excited to teach everybody else in person. So come see us.